Why the hell is no one talking about this? Let's show you. This is the most obvious indicator to use for every intraday trader because it adapts to the markets. Today I'm going to show you the ADR. It's the latest indicator that I use and the latest indicator that I created myself. ADR stands for average daily range. What's good about ADR is that you know, if you're an intraday trader, you know how far will the price move on average. It can move up, you don't know that. It can move down, you don't know that. But if it moves down, how far will it move? If it moves up, how far will it move up? So what I do every day, I go over every currency pair that I have. If we look at this MetaTrader, I'm on AUD USD now. Here we see the ADR low, the ADR high. This yellow line is a daily pivot point. Don't bother about that one in this video. This is I'm only gonna explain the ADR and how I use it and why it's so useful. Let's see here. We started over here. Then it moved really fast. The first 3 hours of the day, it moved up to the ADR high. Then we know that on average, this is how far AUD USD moves. Looking back in history. If we take a long up here, we're really stupid because more often than not, it doesn't go further than this. So what we can do, we can treat these lines as support or resistance lines. In this case, we could have treated this line as a resistance line and made a sell here like this, or maybe even further down, maybe halfway back to the inside the ADR range, and we would have probably had a winning trade here. But if I, for instance, in the morning come here and I go here and I say that I'm at this hour and I think it's an uptrend, I want to go long. It might go up, but today, if you want to trade the close today, it's a very low probability that the price will reach this area today because the move has already happened. AUD, CAD, same here, looking almost the same. This one, here we had a real big move. Even though you had traded a short here, you had lost that trade, but more often than not, you will not lose these trades. But I'm gonna explain to you how I use this because I don't use it. I don't trade reversals. AD NCD. Here we see that we haven't really moved up to the high yet, so we could expect it's almost at the high. So we can maybe this is a slower day than on average, so it doesn't move up here, or we're gonna end up here. CAD, CHF, we had crazy moves today. This is more often than not, we don't see these moves, but as it's an average, it's including these big moves, and then we have some days with slower moves, but on average, we are gonna respect this range. Here I did a short this morning. I closed it up here because it moved so fast, and I have a rule. Maybe if you're not new to my channel, you have heard this. You've heard this many times before that I talk about if my trade goes in my favor straight away and moves more than 50-60% of my take profit, I close them. Same if they go in the wrong way. But you see here, yeah, it's moving towards this ADR high now. I mean, what is more likely? That the price, now more than half the day has gone. What is more likely now? That the price continues to reach this line, or that it moves all the way down here when half the day has already gone to reach the lower line, or sorry, to reach this line? Which is more likely? I think it's more likely that price goes up here. So I could actually make a trade like this. I could make a trade like this. I want to be inside of the ADR because it's a bit slower day. It's or like this, almost 1-to-1 risk to reward. So how I trade it, I use these lines as magnets early or midday, or even later in the day, because then it's even more obvious where is price gonna move. Like this. Now it's half day has passed. Which is more likely that we move 200 points up to respect the daily range, or that we move 700 or 850 points down, but 750 from where we are now. I think it's obvious that we move up. Also, if we see this big candle, it's probably gonna move up. I'm actually gonna take this trade. Yeah, that's good. Good for the video to see how it is. And it feels like, yeah, wow, it's a FOMO. I take this trade, but yeah, it's FOMO. But as I don't have tight stop loss, this can be a very good trade. CHF JPY. I had this. I know that price moves in impulse, correction, impulse. That's a lot how price moves. You see here also impulse, correction, impulse. And we had this impulse here. We went back. We broke out of this, analyze like this, broke out of this correction here. And I made a short. I didn't hold the trade because it did the same. It just had an impulsive move. So it could go up here, and it was pretty early in the morning, could go up here and then move down. But I should have held the trade. I see that now, but it's easy to say in hindsight. But you see, it went down to this line, which was the most obvious line. A lot of these just did the moves early. Here is a trade that could actually be a winning trade. I have RSI here, but I rarely use it for anything. Just got stuck there, and it's too many charts. I had it on default, and I applied the default template on every currency pair when I opened this, and it's annoying to get rid of. Here's a trade I am in now. It's actually now it's in negative, like 400 or so. Yeah, 470, 500. What I'm hoping is now when New York opens is that it spikes up and moves. If price doesn't move lower than here, we're gonna move all the way up here if we do the average range. If price moves lower, we have, this is the high here, so this is the range it's gonna be. So if it moves down, it's gonna move more or less to this range. USD JPY, if we're gonna respect, this is actually a pretty good trade. If we're gonna respect this average daily range, this is the trade. I don't know. We had this big move yesterday. Yada yada. I don't know what's gonna do. I'm not gonna take this trade. I was so close to taking the trade. I'm a bit trigger happy now. And here's my US 100 trade. Same here. If we respect this low here, then from this area up here is the average daily range. So I could expect price to move all the way up here. What I do here is that I see this gap here. So my target is, this is another confluence for me. It's another confirmation that, okay, we are going to move up from when I entered the trade. And this was the area at least that I think is going to move up to. I don't know if it's going to be a slow or fast day, but I risk 1K to gain 1K. We'll see what happens when New York opens in an hour or two. But if I reach this target, I'm happy. I take the 1K and I move on. Let's see here how it's going for the trades. CAD JPY that I opened is in a little profit. I also did here today. I had a hard time decide on US 100, but I did some profits here. $900 US. You see here, this was the trade, and now I took it pretty much from the same area again. So I think it might move up. And this is maybe one time I look at the RSI. Okay, where am I on the 1 hour? I want to see, where am I? Okay, we are on the uptrend coming from below. We're going up, and now yeah, we can easily continue up to go to this just like here. So yeah, this is how I do it. So use these line as magnets for where price is gonna go. You know that it's gonna more often than not respect this range. Some days you have these crazy moves, but more often than not, on average, this is the way that the price moves. So if you're an intraday trader, this is crucial for you. You need to know this information, because I mean, let's say you set your take profit up here. It's most likely not going to be hit today, and you're going to struggle, and the day is going to be over, and you're, oh, should I close it? Should I keep it open overnight? And all of a sudden you're with a trade open overnight, and then it's a new day, and that day has another range in mind. Same range, more or less. But it might be that it goes from here down here that day. Then you're going to be in a losing trade because you left the trade open overnight. So if you're an intraday trader, you want to trade to close today. So then it's ADR high, ADR low. That's super. And this line here showing that if we don't move higher today, this is the high of today. this is the range. We can expect the price to move down here to reach the average range. If you like this indicator, first of all, you can get it. It's a part of FTM Academy. It's included in TradeSpider. But if you just want the indicator for MetaTrader, you can download it on MQL5. I will put the link in the description below. I charge a little fee for it. The reason I do that is because I want to get motivated to continue to update them and to put it out there for you guys. It's just a small fee, and it's going to give you great value. So hopefully you're going to use it in the long run. I mean, this is the most obvious indicator to use for every intraday trader because it adapts to the markets. It looks back a certain amount of time, certain period of time, and it shows you this is how much it moves. You're going to see the market so different because normally, let's say, you see recent highs, recent lows. This is how people teach you on YouTube. Here, this is a zone. Yeah, price is going to move up to this zone. Possibly, but not today because this is the high for today, more often than not. So you're going to know that, okay, we are not going to move up here today. That's almost for sure. So why have a take profit up here if you want to trade the close today? So this indicator, I mean, it works on anything. It doesn't matter if you trade currency, gold, indices, or whatever you trade. It shows you the range for that instrument. So use it. Try to trade towards the lines when you see a clear direction. Okay, we are moving this direction. Here we see we're moving up. Yes. Okay, and now it's closer to this line. So I'm gonna trade towards that line. And here is just empty space. So I don't think we're gonna drop all the way down there. We might do it. It might be a go for a double bottom here. You don't know, but if you trade like I am. I didn't trade NFP last week, but I trade Wednesday and Thursday, this strategy. Only. I didn't use these yellow lines. I only traded towards the ADR high or ADR low, depending on what I saw of the price action. And I did 5,000 euros. No, 5,000 US dollars in 2 days. It was like, I was mind blown because I do 5-10% on my regular strategy per month. So I was blown away, and today I already made 1K profit. Let's see here now. Yeah, it's more or less break even. US 100 trade. It moves. I mean, it moves up here. It's going for it just as expected. USD CAD. Not going for it yet, but also it's a USD pair, so we can expect more movement now when when New York opens. So yeah, I just hope we do something like this. Of course, we're never gonna make this straight line, but I so want it. No, just kidding. But yeah, so this is a very simple strategy. I'm gonna make a more thorough, I don't know the word, more thought through video about this strategy. But for now, get your hands on the indicator or join the FTM Academy and get profitable. This is the easiest way to trade. You can do the moving averages, you can do whatever you like, which doesn't work because I'm gonna tell you this. You know that 95% of all traders fail, right? We all know that. We also know that 95% of traders, they just do what everyone else is doing. You go to YouTube, you try the crossover, you try support and resistance, supply and demand, yada yada, order blocks, smart money concept. Everyone is doing the same kind of trading. So if everyone trades us in the same way, who is losing money? It's obvious, right? It's those guys. You need to think outside the box. You have heard that word before. So think outside the box. This is what I'm doing. It's so dead simple. And in FTM Academy, we also use the pivot point as a target, yada yada. It's extra confirmations that we can use. So here, for instance, here, this is some bonus tip. I did a trade AUD NCD last week. It had a linear trend line down, and the price was coming from below. And when price came up, I saw that if the ADR is respected, the top of ADR was exactly at the trend line, which means that this is a confirmation for me. I'm guessing it's gonna turn on the trend line, and it did. So I made a short, and it's boom, straight to profit. I didn't even have drawdown on that trade. So you can combine this with any strategy that you have. If you trade smart money concepts, fine, use it. But if you don't know where the low and the high are, or how much the currency or the index or whatever you trade, how much it's gonna move on average per day, you're fucked. You don't know nothing. So you're just guessing. Here you see, get so much information from these two lines. And it's also one line up there. If we've been a bit higher up, we had seen a line down here as well. You can set them up in the input settings on either the indicator or the trade spider. If you like this video, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. If you want more of this content, hit the subscribe button, and you will get notified when I release more of this content. If you're new to trading, or if you're not new to trading, if you're an experienced trader and haven't used this, then you really should, because it's going to give you so much information just by these two lines. Trade towards it, trade reverse from the high or low. I am trying to reprogram my mind now. I think that us humans, we want to conquer the market. We want to know better than everyone else. We want to know exactly at this point price is going to reverse. Imagine the feeling that you know exactly the price is going to reverse. I'm trying to reprogram myself, and you heard this many times, but the trend is your friend. Yeah, the trend is your friend. It is. So try to go with the trend. Try to go with the most obvious in this, with a high and low. What is most obvious? This is what I'm trying to reprogram my mind now, to not try to find reversals, because it's so hard. So hard. Okay, we see the trade here now. I talked about the rule that I have, that I close trades that move fast in either negative or in positive. So I'm gonna close this trade here now. It's no use really for me to sit in it. I'm still in profit overall, and I have 1k close profits today. Okay guys, I'm gonna update you a bit here. I entered a long again in use 100. I have this ID that use 30 and use 100s are correlated and move in pairs. And what I saw here was that we have this gap here, and I'm a strong believer that it gets filled, this gap, which it now did, and it turned here on the pivot point. We'll see what happens. But I entered long again because I closed it too early down here. So I entered a long again, and as US 30 is ahead, it has already reached the ADR high. You can see here. So I am guessing that US 100 is lagging behind, so it's gonna go up there. And also the USD CAD, we have seen it move very slow here. Actually, we've been in drawdown most of the time, this trade, but I still think that we're gonna go up. We bounce from the trend line, down, up, above, now retesting. No, not the trend line, the daily pivot. And so now we have some room to go here, and in 18 minutes, more or less, gonna keep pumping when New York opens. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Okay, I'm back from picking up my son from school. I did close my trades in the car. I put the stop loss to break even and wanted them to keep moving, but I didn't, and I'm happy that I closed them in the car. I did not drive and look at my phone, so I stopped on the sideway, look at the phone, close the trades. Yes, but yeah, here I closed the first one too early. The second one here I closed. It was a perfect close actually. So I got a 500 more from this one, and the USD CAD. Yeah, I closed it manually up here as well. I didn't know if it's gonna be a slow day compared to the average range, because you don't know if it's exactly this line. It can be like it is here now, and now it reverses. Now it continues up even more, make a double top up here. I don't know, but I was happy with these results. I mean, it's 2.5k almost 2.4k in one day. super amazing results, trading more or less what I see, and the ADR lines. Trades towards the ADR lines, which is the most obvious one to me. So this is what you can do as well. You can just combine everything you know and add this ADR indicator to your chart, and you're gonna see things that you didn't see before. It's gonna be more obvious where price is gonna go. So that's my biggest advice for you. Just do it, add it, and see how you perform. I mean, last week, Wednesday, Thursday, $5,100 US. Today, 2,400. I mean, where is this gonna stop? So I'm super happy that I created this indicator, which, when I think about it, is the most obvious indicator you can ever use, to know how much is price moving per day. I mean, that's the only thing you almost need to know, and then you just trade it towards the line. As I said earlier in the video, I do not at this time trade reversals from these lines, but you can absolutely do that. I'm actually trying to move away from trading reversal. My brain, and I guess your brain as well, and it's like it's coming natural for us humans to try to pick the tops and bottoms and try to find the reversals. I mean, the whole thing with trend lines is pretty much that. Oh, it's gonna come down here to this bottom. Here's gonna reverse exactly on the line. How the fuck do you know that? You don't know that. So I'm trying to reprogram my brain. I want to trade with the direction, with the direction I see, and this is really subjective. I mean, you can say that this is an uptrend. You can start looking from here and say that it's a downtrend. Depends on how you look at it. I try to look in this day and maybe one day back, like I did here. I did a trend line, at a break of this trend line, had a trend line down here. A few things, I combine it, and I think that it's gonna go up a bit more and then come down for a third touch. And if that happens tomorrow and I have the bottom, like here, ADR low at the trend line, I will trade a reversal, just to get that clear. But I will trade what I see, and I have pretty good gut feeling how to trade now after almost 4 years. I really hope you got some value out of this, and if you have some ideas or anything you want to talk about, or you want to explore, or with me together, or anything about trading, just hit me up, write a comment here below, go to ftmacademy.com, robertsfx.com, or robertbilling.com, and you can contact me on any of those web pages. I answer each and every email. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of this content, hit the subscribe button, and you will see next time when I put up more videos. Comment below what you think. Peace.